No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. And thing sucks.
It's Wednesday, guys, and we do not have to make up garbage to talk about. Do you know why?
Because everybody's in camp.
We are going camping today. My boy Dave, my guy B. Foster. Let's talk about some NFC North football. But before we get started, Dave, 47 days before the day for the Bears invite you guys over to the crib and we John Wayne Gacy you guys. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, but I doubt it's going to end up that way. It's going to be the new head coach, Chicago Bears, go 0-1 on Monday Night Football.
Nah, under the floorboards you go.
Hey, he can't even get his team to line up right in training camp, and you expect to win? Not going to happen.
I do expect to win because that won't be a problem come in 47 days. Work all the kinks out, Foster. Speaking of kinks, well, that was a terrible segue.
Yeah, it was. I'm like, where are we going?
Great band, by the way.
Great band. I mean, it's a favorite four-letter word of R. Kelly, but five-letter word of R. Kelly. But let's get it going. You guys, we're in the heat dome right now. It's extreme temperatures all over the central, Midwest, upper north parts of the United States. So it's not a very pleasant time out there for the guys that's going camping. However, they're not fully padded, right, Dave?
Not yet for us. We put on the pads 28th.
Yeah, it's mandated right now that you guys players can't even do this at this point in time, which is good. I would like for the guys to get around all that weather for the sake of their health. And let's talk about health to begin.
Pads though, his team.
Who's in pads already?
Foster's.
Not, I think maybe today, but I know that
you reported a week early.
We reported a week early, and I think our team is now to the point to where they're itching to get into pads because Campbell actually kind of had to lay into them about the physicality a little bit, and even had to dismiss one of our players for the rest of the day because he was getting a little too aggressive. But we're well on our way. You said what?
That sounds like a story.
Nothing too crazy, but those Dan Campbell camps are very intense and physical, so they're just chomping at the bit.
Yeah, because you guys play a week from tomorrow night.
Very exciting. July 31st.
Exciting times, Foster. But yeah, let's stay there with what's going on in camp for the Detroit guys. You already said that your coach, everybody's favorite, Man Campbell, he's animated about guys doing a little bit too much this early in camp. And hopefully trying to protect some players from getting hurt, injury bug. I think that's becoming synonymous with the Detroit Lions. But you tell me, what's happening up there from an injury standpoint?
And just to give you guys a heads up, Friday is our first day in pads, so we still got a couple of days. But as far as injuries are concerned, the big news going on right now is that Levi Onwuzurike, our defensive lineman, who was relatively healthy last year, he's injury prone. He was certainly injury prone his first couple of years. He put together a very successful, healthy season last year, but he is out for the season already. So that is a major blow to a defensive line that's already a little shorthanded, especially with Aleem McNeil, who's going to be out for the next few months before the season starts. As the season starts, and a few other guys. But Mekhi Wingo, he's expected to come back in September. He's another reserve depth defensive line piece. Ennis Rackstraw was pulled from practice with a apparent chest injury that we're thinking isn't going to be too serious. He himself has already come out and said that it's not too serious. Miles Frazier, our one of our draft picks, I think our 5th round draft pick out of LSU, who was going to be helping in the interior offensive line, is supposed to be out until September or October. Outside of that, Alex Anzalone is nursing a hamstring, and like I said, go ahead.
Is Anzalone nursing a hamstring, or is it? Oh, it feels tight.
Right.
I don't have enough money in my wallet. It feels tight.
Hey,
sort of like
that's
TJ Hawkinson had the ear infection.
Right.
He got his extension, and suddenly it cleared up.
Magic. Yeah. I mean, the hamstring is rather close to the hamstring area. The wallet is rather close to the hamstring area. So it may be a, related issue. But actually, interesting enough, we are hosting for Kaiser White, or I believe his name is Kaiser White, but he was he's the top available linebacker free agency wise, who last played for Arizona, but I think his best years were in Philly. So we're actually hosting him today. So I don't know if there's any relation there or any correlation there, but that's pretty much as far as the main, the main injuries that we have. But that our Levi Onwuzurike, he was one of those guys that we re-signed to a 1-year deal during the off season, and kind of a I don't want to say devastating, but took us back a little bit. But we're all too familiar with that with him, because he's had back issues for the entire time that he's been a Lion.
I don't want to poo-poo what you said about that, Dave, about the wallet being very close to the hamstring. I don't know if you've been paying attention. I think we talked about it a month ago, almost a month ago,
we did,
when this whole situation with the NFLPA had started to unravel. J.C. Tretter is out of a job now, mostly because of some things he said on a podcast with Ross Tucker. I love Ross Tucker's podcast, and one of those good content I get from over there. But what he intimated there on that podcast is that the NFL union may be instructing players who are in difficult contracts situations to, exaggerate a little bit of their injuries, do a little holding in. So even though Anzalone, am I saying his name right? Even though he's not a running back, I mean, it's not unfair to at least question it, right?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Hey, they've been doing it for a while. TJ Hawkinson did it, like I said.
Thanks a lot, Tretter. Now you put the bullseye right on the workers. Yeah, you blew up the spot, as they say.
Hey, we might have Josh Metellus do it this season on my team.
Know what that tells me? Pay us what you owe us. John Morton, B. Foster. And a lot of questions this offseason was directed at how the Lions are going to replace those coaches that they lost to the Chicago Bears. And most notably, Ben Johnson. What are you going to do with that leadership vacuum over there for that offense? But I'm hearing that John Morton is like a clone of Ben Johnson, just based on his very detailed, oriented way he's coming at the players, and very intense. But what else is what's happening out there with as it relates to how the players are not reacting to, but how they are getting comfortable with him? Broke the mic.
Check. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much business as usual. I think the biggest the biggest thing that he can do is to just continue to be creative and continue to just innovate ways to utilize our weapons. We have a number of guys. I mean, we're about 4 deep as far as running backs that can truly make an impact in some way. And I think that you're going to see Jahmyr Gibbs split outside a lot more. You're going to see a lot more sets where Montgomery and Gibbs, who normally just funnel, in and out of the lineup, you're going to see more situations where they're all where they're both on the field together, and that's going to create its own set of chaos when you don't know who is going to be, receiving the ball. Is it going to be a fake to Montgomery and an end around to Gibbs around the outside? They're going to be incorporating Sione Vaki as well and splitting him outside. And, of course, we have, one of the best receivers in the league and Amon-Ra St. Brown and the continuously improving Jamison Williams. There's having a lot of weapons solves a lot of confusion and in issues, because it allows you to just use your imagination. Getting the weapons in the building is, I think, a little bit more difficult than figuring out how you're going to use it all. You just, it's got to be creative.
So I'm assuming same thing with Kelvin Shepherd. I think the reception so far up to this point, and it's still early, the reception for the main coordinators in Detroit has been overly positive, right?
Yeah, I mean, these guys were both, John Warden wasn't just here this past season, but Kelvin Shepherd has been molded and prepared for this role anyways, and he's been on the team for a while. So this comes to, it came to no surprise, and there wasn't I don't think there was a major shift in mentality and in all that, because he's been here. He's been in the building the entire time.
Awesome. What else is happening there? You all have all attendees, right? No one's holding out for any, I guess, raises, anything like that. Other than the Alex Anzalone situation.
Right. I was going to say, I don't think he's officially touched the field, but other than that, everybody's here. Even Marcus Davenport. Actually, I think he was player of the day on day 2, which is, that's good to see that he's back. Good to see that he is impressing right now. But part of me is like, just wrap him in bubble wrap and see how many games we can get out of him, from week 1 to whenever, because I hate to say that it's inevitable, but like I said, the talent is the talent is there. That has never been a question for him. It's always just a matter of how long he will hold up. But with all the with the injuries that we keep dealing with, it's gonna be, if he can be a nice 1-2 punch with Hutch, that's gonna be huge. Outside of that, Hendon Hooker, who's somebody that we were looking to see a big jump, and I think he technically started off in the 3rd string role at quarterback going into camp, but he's been impressive thus far. I think the most exciting thing that I've heard is Terrion Arnold in the progression that he's making. He had some one-on-one drills with the receivers, most notably against Amon-Ra St. Brown, where he had a nice interception on him. But yeah, all things lead towards him being him making a serious jump, and he didn't record a single interception, not even like an accidental whoops, hit quarterback in a duck type interception. So I think that he is definitely going to get off the schneid as far as that's concerned. And I think that the Lions have a really good opportunity to be a top 10 secondary with DJ Reed and the number of not even just the safeties. We know the safeties are pretty elite safeties, but I think even our nickelbacks are pretty. That's a pretty stout bunch as well. Outside of that, Tate Ratledge, who did finally sign. It appears that we've said that he is going to be the starting center going into the regular season. Dan Campbell says that he's looked good, but he also describes his the learning curve to be him drinking out of a fire hose. So a lot, containing a lot of information all at once. But they, said the pad level has been good, but the true teller will be when he's in pads. But not a whole lot of mistakes on that transfer to the quarterback. Outside of that, Isaac Tesla has mostly been taking second team reps as of now. Graham Glasgow, it appears that he is going to be the right guard to start the season. Obviously, Miles Frazier is going to be out until October, so that kind of slows down his progression a little bit. And yeah, that's about it.
Let's spin the block a little bit. I think the Packers just started camp, but who cares about the Packers? Let's talk about the Bears. So the Bears open camp today. First, let me not say today. They actually opened camp yesterday. Their first practice was today at 8 a.m. Yesterday was more so just press conferences. Caleb Williams, Grady Jarrett, Ryan Poles. He didn't take any questions while doing his press conferences, but we got some good information. The biggest piece of news we got out of that was our all-pro cornerback, probably the best player on the Bears roster, Jalen Johnson, NFI list. Ryan Poles expects him to miss multiple weeks. He says about 2, but we don't, at that point, you're just guessing at that point because he didn't really specify what kind of injury it was. He didn't say how he got the injury. He just said it was during off-season workouts because he had been present during most of the organized team activities during the off-season. So that's one thing the Bears are dealing with. And after
injury, according to reports.
Yeah, leg injury. He has a lot of area to cover for the leg injury, right?
To the toes.
Yeah. But what do you think about that, Dave? Being vague with injuries?
They don't have to until a week prior to the first regular season game. They don't have to be exact. That's part of the rules. We got to live with it.
Yeah, we definitely just got to live with that. And oh well, we get enough information at this point in our this point of our lives, right? We can deal with some vagueness at this point. But moving past that, Jalen Johnson's hurt. Got to move on. That does put the Bears in a precarious situation. We talked about this in depth in the episode we just dropped. It's available everywhere you get your podcast and on YouTube, titled "Callous in the Body," where we did a deep dive in all these press conferences. So the Bears are going to be without the top corner for at least the first portion of training camp. Other things that was said yesterday that caught a lot of people's attention, Dave, you in particular. The expectations, well, let me not say expectations, the desires of Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson for this next season. Caleb says, hey, my goals this season, I want to be the first quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards in a Chicago Bears jersey. I want to I want to throw for 70%. I want to have a 70% completion percentage. I said, hey, bro, go off, do your thing. I want to see both of those. Now, how likely both of those can be attained, maybe not. I don't think there's been too many guys that throw for 70%. I think I know the number's got to be less than 10. It's probably around 5. But 4,000 yards, I find it to be an achievable benchmark for Caleb. I mean, for any quarterback, those are becoming more and more average 4,000 yards. I would just be happy if the Caleb was able to do 65% and 4,000 yards.
That would be something. It's good to have goals. Absolutely. Now, I find it difficult when we get reports out of your training camp. Cassie Carlson, Fox 32 News. Bears training camp, practice 1. No sign of wide receiver Luther Burden III. first rep of 11 on 11, Caleb Williams, picked off by Tremaine Edmonds. Ben Johnson yells, "You're out!" when Caleb Williams and the first team offense couldn't even get lined up properly in 7-on-7s. And Ozzie Trapilo starting at left tackle.
Yeah, I think the most important thing that you just said was who was getting the first team reps. Ozzie Trapilo definitely caught him today. Everything else is par for the course. Because we only really have
pretty much the same.
We only really have one thing that we're really keeping an eye on at camp right now, and that's the left tackle battle between
your mind, Bay.
It's too many T words. Between Trapilo, Braxton, who's not back yet from his injury, and Kyron Amagaji. So basically, everything else is just, everybody stay healthy. Well, that's where all eyes are. Now, second most important thing that you said, Dave, Luther Burden. If Luther Burden wasn't going to be available to practice today, I would have appreciated somebody saying this yesterday. Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson, they made a big thing about Colston Loveland is healthy. He's ready to go. No one said anything about Luther. They signed him, and that was the last thing you heard about Luther Burden. I would like to know what's going on in that situation, because he's missed a ton of time during this offseason activities. I would like some type of update on that.
According to Courtney, he's dealing with an injury suffered earlier. It was landing on the ball awkwardly in minicamp, sustained a soft tissue (hamstring) injury during OTAs.
Yeah. It was an injury he got a long ass time ago. I need to know what exactly is happening, because you can't, even for a second round draft pick that, we Bears had 3 of them. So we got a lot of guys that we expect to contribute now for a team that had 5 wins last year. We need everybody to contribute now. I would like to know what's happening. The old adage goes, you can't make the club from the tub. Obviously not going to cut Luther, but I believe coming out of the draft, the thought was it was going to be a 50-50 split between 12 personnel and 11. There's no way they can do 11 now if Luther can't even get on the field, and we're already in camp. He missed all of the he was there for the rookie portion of OTAs. Ever since then, no, nothing. He's just showing up and, I guess showing up to meetings. You ain't seen him in cleats. So I would like some clarity on that situation from Mr. Poles and Mr. Johnson. Other than that, the constant getting guys to break the huddle or get into the huddle, all that type of stuff, that's just football. And I don't want to be like some of the other the guys that opine on the Chicago Bears that are kind of maybe blowing this out of proportion. It's day 1 of camp. Yes, we have heard this all through OTAs. So what? It's day 1 of camp. I would prefer it today. You didn't hear any of this stuff.
Players learning Pop Warner.
No, that's not true, Dave. No. That's not true at all. There's a certain way you do it. I think we said this past episodes as well. When you're going through school and high school, college, you do a lot of different type of formations and breaking the huddle. There's a certain way you got to do it as a pro. Exactly. Mm-hmm. You got to do it differently in the huddle, and everybody's got to be on the same beat. It started with the quarterback, and there's a learning curve for quarterbacks who grew up doing spread offenses and shotguns and stuff like that of that nature, and then obviously coming to a Ben Johnson offense who is going to do a lot of play action. So you got to be in under center and doing this. There's a lot you got to get up to speed on. Perfect. Last few years, you didn't hear any of this stuff coming out of camp. Everything was, bells and whistles. Everybody's got high emotion, high hopes, and all the reports are great. We get to the season, ain't nothing great. Shit sucks. I want to hear that. I want to hear that right now. If there's things messing up, if guys can't do the basics, let's hear about it now. Work on it now, because I don't want to see it week 1. Training camp practice first day, perfect, cool. Don't bring it to week 1.
Do you feel your team's stuck on a loop, on repeat? Every year, repeat. Hey, we won the offseason. Hey, we finished below 500. Hey, we won the offseason. Hey, we finished below 500.
Do I feel that's on a repeat? No. I mean, but that's facts. I mean, we won the offseason, 3 years in a row, and then we finished on the 500 3 years in a row. That's fact. Do I feel like that is a
you've got the talent. You now have a coach.
Uh-huh.
You should improve.
We will improve. Not even an issue.
There's another issue.
Oh yeah, the players are the issue at that point.
One of them.
No, that's the point. The players are the issue at that point, and I don't even know if I can blame the general manager, because a lot of these players aren't. Well, no, majority of these players are his. I do blame the general manager. But
freshly minted extended general manager.
Yeah, they shouldn't have given that contract.
Mm-hmm.
Should not have given that a contract extension. I mean, you want to sync up your general manager and your head coach. I mean, that's how competent football teams do these things, right? And the Bears have long operated as the most incompetent thing you can ever imagine. However,
they're not the most incompetent thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, you still got the Cowboys out there,
and Cleveland,
and the Jets,
and the Jaguars, and there's quite a few teams.
Yeah, Jaguars are correct as well. Tennessee Titans. But we're going on the tangent of terrible teams. Don't want to do that. The Bears have done things wrong for long enough. I get why you want to start doing things the right way. However, I would have preferred that they told Ryan Poles, like, hey, you know what? Let's get a winning record first before we give you a contract extension. I just don't like the way that how they did business there. But again, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, we will. And I can't wait for more reports out of your camp.
Oh yeah. as we've spent the last 3 months, hey, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen next? What do you think about this little piece of
how would you rank this
minor
group?
News? I love exactly. How would you top five list of alternate jerseys?
Mm-hmm. Well, I won't get into it. Speaking of Cleveland Browns, but hey, I look forward to your camp notes. I look forward to the MASH report from Detroit every week. They by far they've got 13 people on their injury report right now, or have been reported injured. 13 total. And that aren't practicing in one way or shape or form. They are by far the worst. Then comes the Green Bay Packers.
Mm-hmm.
For injuries. They have Quay Walker, which is put on the PUP, but can be activated anytime. He supposedly has residual effects from 2024 injuries. I love that. Christian Watson, torn ACL in January. He's not going to be ready until at least November. Elgton Jenkins, O-line, unspecified minicamp injury. He's on the active NFI list. He is put on, could be activated anytime. He's much like Anzalone. It's probably a wallet-caused injury for him. You have Colin Oliver with a foot injury.
Dave.
Huh?
That's reckless speculation, Dave.
Oh, it is. But hey, it's known, it's been reported he's disgruntled and he wants contract. Now, Colin Oliver, rookie D lineman, he's on the active pup with a foot injury. Micah Robinson, cornerback, active pup, unspecified injury. John Williams, O-line rookie, unspecified pup. Alex Hale, kicker, eye injury. Freak workout incident. He was released from the NFI, and he's now released from NFI, and he's going to be out for several weeks. Now, what is he using to work out that could cause an eye injury? Those big rubber bands or something?
I was thinking like a cable.
Possibly. Breaking, snapping. Cable, you don't want cables breaking. They suck.
Somebody was spotting them and they got too close.
All right.
There's a story there. I just didn't drill into it.
Yo.
Amar Johnson, another running back rookie. He's on the NFI. And then that's it for them. But they're not doing so well. They're doing better than the Detroit Lions, but they're still not doing so
debatable. Kickers getting eye injuries. We need answers.
Do we though? Do we need to know why he got hurt? He's hurt. He hurt his eye. He's gonna be a little Cyclops for a moment. Then let's move on. Can he kick?
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Can he kick? He keeps hitting it wide right. Hey, cool.
Mm-hmm.
What was he even doing lifting weights anyways? They lift weights.
Of course. Come on.
Some of those dudes are in good shape. I'm just talking crap because it's a kicker. They're the Packers of the positions, right?
Uh-huh.
The what? What did you say?
I'm just saying they're the ones that they're easy to pick on.
Oh, yeah. You're right. They are easy to pick on. Dave, Vikings training camp.
We just had veterans report yesterday. There's actually been no practice until this afternoon. This is what I find interesting. Bears practice at 8:45 in the morning. They hit field. That's their schedule. Vikings schedule is 2:30 in the afternoon. And the reason the Vikings do it in 2:30 in the afternoon is they want all the players to take advantage of the prehab stuff, the physical fitness to keep them healthy in the morning, and then they do their educational classroom type things. And then they hit the field in the afternoon, which they also hope to keep them better acclimated to the heat, because it has been hot across the Midwest for, relatively speaking, for everybody, including Minnesota. So I don't have a practice. All they did was a walkthrough yesterday afternoon, and they're going to do another walkthrough, I think, today. I have some news. The Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Kevin O'Connell got together and had their press conferences yesterday. Kevin O'Connell had another one today, which he talked about a 2 running backfield to mix things up there, Mr. Foster. And with Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Mason on the same field, not just Aaron Rodgers and CJ Ham or something. But we're not going to see anything until, I think, press reports tomorrow, when they may have had access today, but I'm not going to see anything. So it's basically a big nothing for Minnesota as of now. Now, we do have a couple of players that went on the PUP, and they are rookies our rookie tight end, Gary Bartholomew, with he's been dealing with back issues most of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And they hope he's available, that he gets through it almost any time. And also a rookie edge rusher, Chaz Chambliss. He's been having a problem with his right foot. And but he's supposed to be healed up with that soon as well. But other than that, everybody is available, including Christian Darrisaw.
And Will Fry?
Including Will Fries. Including Rondale Moore. Those were the 3 vets that were injured or recovering all this offseason, and they have all 3 been cleared off the pup. Now, they're going to bring them on slow. They're going to build up into shape and stuff like that with like Will Fries and Christian Darrisaw. Darrisaw's pretty much in shape, but they're going to get him acclimated. He might not go 11 on 11 on pads initially. It may take a couple of weeks, but it's going to happen. And then Rondale Moore, with his knee injury recovery, they're going to take it slow as well. But they're active. They're going to be out there, 7-on-7s and stuff like that. They're going to be out there, individual drills, the whole works.
Will Fries is coming back from a tibia injury.
Tibia fracture.
Was that right or left?
Right.
Right. Ooh, it's tough. Well, let's talk about JJ McCarthy, your boy. Say his name.
JJ McCarthy.
I'm hearing a lot about his leadership qualities.
As well, you should.
Someone told me that he, from a leadership standpoint, that his swagger, his aura, as the kids like to say, is giving off Josh Allen.
Yes. That's
How
what
was that?
Harrison Phillips
Yes.
said about him. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Explain that to me.
The kid's got the it factor.
The it factor.
Yeah. I talk about it tomorrow. Everybody listen. If you listen to Kevin Smith's The Call Sheet on FFSN, check out tomorrow's show when we go over the state of the Minnesota Vikings, and Kevin and I get into that specific topic.
Now, you did say the Vikings are they're thinking about going for a running back by committee sort of thing. Or maybe as you stated, 2 running back system.
Yes.
Isn't that a committee, Dave?
Isn't that? Well, I think of committee as sort of like what they do on the defensive line, where they rotate guys in and out as a committee, not a 2-back backfield. No,
I wouldn't describe what the Lions have as a committee. Committee more sounds like more of a we can't get good production out of 1, so we need 2 or 3. I think that's more so a thing than like when you utilize 2 pretty evenly. I think that's just a two-headed attack.
Or you can get production out of anybody you put back there, and you get plus yardage from 4 running backs, as you have in Detroit.
But I don't think they call it a committee, though. I think committee.
No, they wouldn't call it. They would call it a veer or a T or a wishbone or something like that, and that's only with 3 backs.
Well, you're talking about it at one time?
No. I'm just saying you utilize right. You utilize the entire running back room is where I'm getting at.
That's a committee. If you're equalizing,
did the Lions not do that?
The whole room is like 4.
Yeah, committee.
Yeah,
but but it's not equal amongst the 4 of them.
Oh, no, the committees don't have to be equal. I mean, they just,
well, Dave used the word equal. That's the only why.
It's. I think the difference is one's a formation and the other one is utilization.
Right, we're talking about
utilization.
utilization.
It's a utilization thing, right, where you're utilizing them. You have Gibbs on one play, Montgomery on another. Gibbs,
that's committee.
Montgomery, right? That's a committee.
Right.
Whereas
utilizing
Gibbs and Montgomery in the same backfield on a single play, and Goff you got to figure out which way he's turning around and hand off the ball to.
Right.
No, that's just play design. That's a two backfield play design.
Correct. And we're going to see some of that in Detroit this year because there are reports that Gibbs will be playing wide, as you did say, Foster.
Tim says two-headed monster. Yeah.
All right.
That's two-headed monster. I would call it more so.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fancy word for a committee. Dave, so your guys two-headed monster, as you would say, Josh Jacobs or AJ Dillon, or is there anybody else that can maybe poke up into there to make it a true committee?
You mean Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason?
I'm talking. Yes, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones. Sorry, I got thinking purple. I'm thinking Packers. Yeah. Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason.
Right. Just those two guys.
Probably going to be RB3, but you'll see him on special teams.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe relief if both guys are tired or something.
Good beans. Let's go ahead and take a break real fast and then come back. And we're going to talk about some more camp fodder. If you're watching live, you know what to do. Stay right there. If you're listening on audio, catching us out at a later time, check out what our ad partners have to say to you, and we shall return on the other side of those breaks.
Need a Garrett's popcorn break.
Garrett's popcorn rocks.
Can't beat it, Dave. Can't beat popcorn. Popcorn is amazing, especially when it's coming from a popcorn heaven like Chicago. So Foster, I know June isn't here, and I know one of his favorite preseason players is J-Mo. He's been quiet this preseason. Well, he's not preseason, but he's been quiet this offseason. You guys have been in camp for a few days now. As we said earlier in the show, you guys break the seal on preseason coming up on the 31st. That's next Thursday.
Friday. No, Thursday. You're right. Thursday.
Right. So, what's J-Mo been up to? He's keeping quiet. I think a quiet J-Mo could be poised for a big breakout season.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple years, there's been some stuff going on. So him being relatively quiet is quite all right. I think he's been the camp darling. Even in spite of the trouble that he had been dealing with, he's been the camp darling the last few years, and now it's just kind of more. He's almost a vet now. What is he in his fourth year? It's crazy because he still has that youngness to him. So it's crazy to think that he is a veteran. But yeah, now it's just business as usual. Another day at the office. So, it's still early, but yeah, I think that him being quiet is a good thing more than anything.
I kind of miss the Jameson news breaks. Like I told you, it when something happens in Detroit, I can always expect that rattlesnake glass smash like Stone Cold Steve Austin. When I get the notification at the top of the phone, bleachers to speakers, breaking news.
Oh my God! Yeah, the performance enhancing drugs, the Rhino pill.
Yeah. Hey, if you're going to enhance any performance that you may participate in your day-to-day, I support that. I may not support it for, somebody born after 2000 to be enhancing their performance. I mean, that is a little cause for concern. I more so expect the unks to be doing that. The guys on the slingshots, the guys I'm talking about.
Oh, with the loud music and
playing the
funk.
The not so subtle sensual music on the loudest speakers they can find. They got slingshots on the Harleys, and they just ripping and running through the streets with a body full of Blue Chew and Honey Pack. But moving past that, talking about breaking news notifications, there are some teams out there in the NFL that cannot wait to get that breaking news notification about some of their players that they are holding out. One of which is the most important game, I get, even maybe in the early part of the season for the Chicago Bears. Those DC Commanders, they have a holdout situation going on with Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, one of my favorite players in the league, even though he is a Buckeye. Let's just go around the room. If they can't settle that situation in DC, would you be open to giving Scary Terry a new home on your team, Dave?
For vet minimum, but not for what he's out wanting. No,
okay.
Sorry.
So that's a flat out no. There,
no.
B Foster. What about you, B Foster?
It would be weird because he did us dirty in the playoffs, but you know, better with us than against us, I guess. But we got a lot of receivers. I mean, obviously he comes in as probably the second best receiver next to St. Brown, but I don't know. I don't think it's necessary. Unless he can play edge. Now, if he can play edge rusher, by all means, get in there because we'll need one soon enough with Mr. Davenport.
We need pitching in Chicago. So I'm right there with you, Foster. If I would
Tigers
love to bring in
right now.
Yeah, the Tigers are. You guys are fine. You guys playing the AL Central. It's all dress rehearsal into the playoffs in that division at least. But in Chicago, number one thing we need in Chicago sports, we need a pitcher. Cubs need a pitcher. However, Terry McLaurin, he's a football player. We would love to get him to flip gangs and come to the Bears. So when we run up in DC, we got some stumping to do, and it just makes it feel almost all the way better if he's stumping out with us. But the situation with Luther Burton does make it like, you know what? Maybe we could use another wide receiver. We do want to maybe fill out the offense a little bit better, but I don't necessarily want any more on ramps for this offense. I like the guys that's there. I want everybody to get that unison going on. Everybody to understand what they got going on for you. I don't need any more of those excuses that we had last offseason. Like, hey, everybody's got to learn how to play with each other, how to play together. So I would pass just on that. Trey Hendrickson. We did have a comment that said the Packers will take him in a heartbeat. The Packers got a lot of wide receivers, don't they? They just drafted 3 of them.
Yeah, they're all wide receiver 2s.
Yeah, they're all meaty. They're no WR1s.
Scary Terry would definitely improve your wide receiver role.
One this year, but we'll see.
Check it out. All right. Not Terry McLaurin, but Trey Hendrickson. Number 3 leading sack getter. That's crazy. Number 3 guy in the NFL in sacks over the last few years, just behind well-paid Myles Garrett, just behind well-paid TJ Watt. If they can't figure something out in Cincinnati, B. Foster, opposite of your boy that's coming back from his devastating leg injury. You in?
I mean, for the right price, but he's gonna want that extension. He's like 31.
He wants a 4-year deal. Yes or no? Would you give him 4 years?
No.
Oof, that's tough customer, Foster. Why 4?
Got a lot of young guys to pay. Got a ton of young guys to pay.
So why pay an old one? Even though some edge rushers,
I'm saying young guys. I mean, yeah. If we're under the theory of Brad Holmes, that only very rarely does a team get several All-Pro edges or have one All-Pro edge. It's because they're too expensive and they're hard. They're tough to pay. So why pay one that's on the wrong side of 30 when you got Brian Branch and Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamison Williams, guys that are like 24 years old that will need to be extended. So which doesn't make sense. Gotta work with what you gotta make it work.
Gotta make it work. They also talking like money got owners instead of just spenders. Shout out to The Wire. I love being able to stick a Wire reference in there somewhere. Dave, what about you? Trey Henderson, he's available.
No, we don't need him.
Don't. Well, you know what? That's right. The Vikings. The Vikings defense don't need no more smoke. You're right. You're right. The Bears, again, I'm gonna tell you right now. Even though I think Trey Henderson is a little bit pricey, he is exactly what the Bears need. Somebody opposite Montez Sweat to give that defensive pass rush the edge that they need to go to the next level. I do think the addition of Grady Jackson is going to be is going to reverberate all through the defensive line and through the pass rush. It's going to give Javon Dexter the much needed vet tutelage that he needs to continue to ascend at his career, at his position. But you can't. But Trey Henderson, he just gets to the quarterback, dogs, and that's all we want. We just want we got our eyeballs, and we're not supposed to look ahead, but we got our eyeballs on week 12. There's a certain quarterback that wears the number 12 that we got to put in the dirt. John Wayne Gacy style. Who else is available out there?
You mean the quarterback that's owned you guys for so many years?
We're available. We're available for purchase, Dave. I don't know what you're talking about. The guy who claimed ownership, we're taking him to court.
Okay. Just kidding.
Taking him to court. And we're gonna beat that boy down. Foster. You did make mention that the Tigers are backpedaling a little bit. I tell you that they are just fine, but you do more on your platform, not just Detroit Lions. Anybody that had any desire to listen to Detroit sports news coverage, where can they find that at?
On the YouTube side of things, you can catch us on Bleachers to Speakers. Bleachers to Speakers is also the name of our Detroit Lions podcast. If you're looking for the Pistons post-game podcast, we do a live Central Division show every Monday. And every Sunday, me and Coach break down a week in Tigers baseball. The trade deadline is coming up. I think that is on the 31st as well. So 31st is going to be a busy day for me, more than likely, because the Lions will be making their preseason debut for the Hall of Fame game, and that'll be the final day of the trade deadline. So hopefully by that point, the Tigers are wrapping things up. Hopefully we get started real soon, because we have some holes to get addressed. And Scott Harris, the president of baseball operations, needs to be very, very busy, or there's going to be some angry fans. That's for sure. Got swept by the Pirates.
Ouch. You let Pittsburgh beat you? The White Sox beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They don't even have baseball players. They just running off vibes and the ordainment of the Pope. They ain't really got they ain't got nothing else going for them. But Dave, all football all the time. Where can anybody catch out that Minnesota Vikings podcast that you do great work with?
It's at Vikings First and Skull. And you can catch us on our Vikings First and Skull YouTube page, Vikings First and Skull across your favorite podcast aggregators, and even VikingsFirstandSkull.com, which will drive you to Fans First Sports Network's Minnesota Vikings tab. Or you can just go to Fans First Sports Network and go drop down to Minnesota Vikings. We even have a Facebook page, believe it or not.
Yeah, the dog said you left me out too. What's his name? Crypto?
Merlin, but that's
Merlin.
not Merlin. We're dog sitting, and it's a little yapper that likes to pull stuff off my desk.
Crypto.
It's a little corgi named Shakira or Akira. I call it IKEA.
Okay, all right. It sounded like Akira had some things they wanted to get out there too. They had some opinions that they had some football opinions that they wanted to get off their chest too. But
yeah, she's not a Vikings fan.
We're hiring. We're hiring Akira. The bandwagon's open. Check us out. But over here at the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel, we, just like Foster said, it's going to be a raucous few weeks coming up. Trade deadline for Major League Baseball. Camps back open for Chicago Bears. Free agency is pretty much dead in basketball, so it's really going to be a lot of stuff going on from the baseball and football front. Like I said, we just dropped an episode going into depth on the press conferences from yesterday. You want to check that out. You can catch that on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else. Amazon Music, Pandora, all alike. But not a bad listen as well. I'm very proud of that episode. Lots of good laughs, lots of good information. You want to check that out. Good time. Dave, what do we say on the way out?
We say, Skull Vikings!
Foster, help us out. What they say in D-Town? I don't That was pretty ferocious. I'm scared. A little. Not really.
It's either that or one pride.
One pride.
Pride
right.
Month was last month, wasn't it? You notice that Detroit has Pride Month, and yet when they play, they're not so prideful.
That's a fine. That's a fine.
I agree.
You got a podcast better than me, Foster. Check us out next week at the Bleachers to Speakers channel. Everywhere and everywhere you get your we'll be on Bleachers to Speakers channel next week live. Check us out there. Have a good rest of the week. Go Bears. Thanks for listening to this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Don't matter if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all the guys from Chicago, we say three things. Bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.